Hello, chess fans, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a true classic, a battle from the legendary Bled Zagreb Belgrade Candidates Tournament of 1959. This wasn't just any tournament, it was the proving ground for future world champions, and our combatants today are two of the game's most iconic figures. The young, brilliant American prodigy, Robert James Fischer, facing off against the enigmatic tactical genius Mikhail Tal. If you love fireworks, incredible sacrifices, and a relentless pursuit of the initiative, you are in for a treat. This game is a masterclass in dynamic chess, a clash of titans that perfectly encapsulates the styles of these two legends. So, buckle up, because we're about to witness one of the most unforgettable games in chess history. Fischer, playing with the white pieces, opens with his customary e4. And Tal, true to form, responds with c5, the Sicilian Defense. This immediately tells us we're in for a sharp, uncompromising fight. White plays knight f3, and black replied with d6. Then white played d4, and black captured. White's knight recaptured, and black played knight f6. White played knight c3, and black played a6. Here we have it, the Najdorf variation. Black establishes a strong pawn structure, eyes the d5 square, and prepares for dynamic counterplay on the queen side. Fischer chooses an aggressive line with bishop c4. This is the Sozin attack, or often called the Fischer-Sozin attack because he played it so frequently and so well. White develops rapidly, putting immediate pressure on black's f7 pawn. Black plays e6, creating a solid pawn chain and preparing to fianchetto his dark-squared bishop, or develop it to e7. White plays bishop b3, and black plays bishop e7. White plays f4, and black castles. White continues to build up a kingside attack, pushing the f-pawn and getting the king to safety. Black, meanwhile, completes development and castles, which is absolutely critical in these sharp lines. White plays queen f3, and black plays queen c7. Fischer connects his rooks and eyes the king side with his queen. Tal's queen moves to c7, protecting the c-file, eyeing the long diagonal, and preparing for queenside expansion. White castles, and black goes b5. And here it is. Tal's characteristic Najdorf counterplay. He immediately starts pushing on the queen side, gaining space and undermining White's central control. Fischer, seeing an opportunity, unleashes f5, a sharp thrust. He wants to open the file and unleash his pieces against Black's kingside. But this also leaves his e-pawn a little exposed. Tal, unfazed, continues with his plan, b4. He's chasing that knight away, creating more space and tempo. White plays knight f4, and black plays e5. Excellent play from Tal. He blocks the file with his pawn, closes the diagonal for White's bishop on b3, and gains central space. White plays knight e2, and black responds with bishop b7. The knight retreats, and black brings out his dark-squared bishop, creating a powerful battery along the long diagonal and bolstering the center. White plays knight to g3, and black moves his knight to d7. Tal brings his knight into the game, preparing to support the center or jump into attacking positions. Notice how he's consolidating his position while White is pressing. White plays bishop e3, and black plays bishop c6. White develops another piece. Tal's bishop is very active on c6, controlling important squares. White plays his bishop to f2, and Tal moves his queen to b7. Fischer's bishop gets out of the way, possibly eyeing the h4 square later. Tal's queen is now on a very active square, eyeing the d5 pawn and creating potential batteries. White plays rook to e1, and black plays his pawn to d5. Boom! Tal strikes in the center. This is the Mikhail Tal we know and love. He opens the position, looking for tactical opportunities and breaking White's pawn chain. White captures Tal's pawn, and Tal recaptures with his knight. The knight on d5 is a monster. It controls critical squares, eyes f4, and poses a serious threat. White plays knight e4, and black plays knight f4, and just like that, Tal's knight jumps to f4, a truly spectacular outpost. It attacks g2, e2, and is a constant headache for white. White plays c4. Fischer tries to dislodge the troublesome knight. He wants to disrupt black's central control. Black plays g6. Wow. Just wow. This is vintage Tal. Instead of moving the knight or consolidating, he plays a pawn sacrifice, opening the g-file for white. But watch closely, because this move hides a deep tactical idea. He's allowing white to open the g-file, but it's a trap, preparing for a devastating counterattack. White captures the pawn on g6, and black plays f5. Fischer takes the bait. But now, Tal's f-pawn pushes forward, creating an even more dangerous outpost on f4 for his knight if it needs to return, and controlling key squares. He's also opening the file for his own rooks. White plays g7. Fischer tries to clear the g-file even further, threatening to create a battery against black's king. It looks very menacing. Black's king captures on g7. Tal accepts the challenge. His king is now exposed, but this is the kind of chaos Tal thrives in. He sees something deeper. White plays queen g3 check, and black plays king to h8. Forced moves. White checks the king, and black moves to h8. White plays knight c5, and black captures the knight. Fischer's knight on c5 is strong, but Tal decides to exchange it off. This simplifies the position slightly, but also removes a dangerous attacking piece. White captures the knight with his bishop, and black recaptures the bishop with his, and check. Another exchange. Tal's bishop on c5 is now even more active. White's knight captures the bishop again, and black plays queen c7. The knight on c5 is still quite active, but Tal brings his queen to a central square, eyeing the kingside and creating new threats. White plays queen e3, and black plays rook a8 to e8. White's queen moves to a safer and more active square. Black brings his rook to the open e-file, lining up against white's king. The tension is palpable. White plays rook e2, and black plays knight to e2 check. Tal simplifies the position again, but this is not a retreat. He wants to open lines even further and eliminate one of white's defending pieces. White captures knight with queen, and black plays bishop on g2. Tal sacrifices his bishop for 2 pawns, completely shattering white's kingside pawn structure. This is not just a material exchange. It's a positional sacrifice for initiative and a wide-open king. The g2 square is a gaping wound. White plays knight to a 6, and black plays queen a 7 check. Fischer takes the knight, but Tal immediately checks the king, gaining a tempo and bringing his queen into a deadly attacking position. White's king captures the bishop on g2, and black plays rook g8 check. This is it, the culmination of Tal's attack. White's king is completely exposed on g2, and the g-file is a highway for black's rook. White plays king h3, and black plays queen g7. Tal's queen joins the party on the g-file, forming a devastating battery with the rook. White's king is caught in a deadly mating net. There's virtually no escape. White plays bishop d1, and black plays rook e6, and with this elegant move, Tal brings his final rook into the attack. The battery on the g-file is now overwhelming. White's position crumbles. Fischer, seeing the inevitable, has no further defense. The young American grandmaster, for all his brilliance, is forced to concede. What an absolute masterpiece! Mikhail Tal, the Wizard of Riga, demonstrates his unparalleled tactical prowess and his fearless approach to the game. From the moment he unleashed d5, Tal seized the initiative and never let go. The central strikes, the pawn sacrifices with g6, and the incredible bishop captures on g2, all culminating in that relentless king hunt on the g-file. Fischer played a strong game, employing his typical aggressive Sozin setup, but Tal's willingness to embrace complexity and his uncanny ability to navigate tactical chaos proved decisive. This game is a brilliant example of how sacrificing material can lead to overwhelming positional and attacking advantages. For aspiring chess players, this game offers invaluable lessons. Embrace the initiative. Don't be afraid to create active play. Spot tactical opportunities. Tal's game is a clinic in identifying and executing combinations. Understand positional sacrifices. Sometimes, giving up material for open lines and king safety is worth it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into a true chess classic, please hit that like button, subscribe for more epic games, and let me know in the comments below what your favorite move from this game was. Until next time, keep playing, keep learning, and keep enjoying the beautiful game of chess.